professional.
Hello, welcome to Trend Settings episode 88, but it might not be because I didn't check physically on the website or the podcast or the YouTube or anything. So I could be wrong.
Wow.
Just like a lot of people are wrong about the sounds. Is it Yanni? Is it Laurel?
Or is it Yanni?
Laurel.
Or Steve.
Laurel.
I don't know.
Laurel. I know. Maybe we're going to get into that. Maybe not. This is Trend Settings. We are Group Settings. We go into what is trending every week, and it is all about Yannis and Laurels this week. But we also have Brooklyn Nine-Nine getting uncancelled and the great saga of that and celebrities reviving it. And we also have Google WTF, man. Why are you putting AI in the machines, bruh?
Good.
And then we have feet.
Where else did I go?
Feet going down a certain ocean current, and it's super weird.
You don't know that.
Feet.
I'm just guesstimating.
We'll wait to hear more.
Take your guesstimation somewhere else.
But first, Yanni. Laurel.
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
I have heard about this, and I have also seen it. I was so sure it was a hoax. Okay, quick description. So, and a bit of history. Oh no, you know what? For the listeners who haven't done this, we can just play it.
Yeah.
So what do you hear when you hear this recording?
Laurel. 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 Laurel.
Interesting.
Sammy Sosa hears Laurel, and Sarah says she hasn't had a prostate exam. Wow, Dip.
Wow.
Take care of your wife. Jeez.
Seriously, Dip. Get on that.
I'm glad she hasn't done that. Yeah, I hear Laurel.
Has she done one though? That's why we're asking. Have you done one?
I don't think she's qualified.
Don't they teach teachers how to do that?
Do they?
Oh.
No.
That's like pretty contentious.
They're just trying to get the teachers to stop doing that.
That's pretty gross.
That went where I didn't think it was going to go.
I don't know what private school you went to, John.
Oh no.
Okay. So, a bit of origin on that. I think all of us here hear Laurel, right?
Yeah.
Currently, yes.
Yes.
But you have
Currently.
heard Yanni.
I have heard Yanni.
We'll get into that. So the origin of this is, you know those YouTube videos that are like from dictionary.com or that sort of
like
thing?
pronounce a word, right?
Yeah. That's literally what it is.
It's it. Like if I have someone's name I can't pronounce, that's what I go look up, right?
Yeah, and then
pronounce
you
it.
always get that wanker who proves his point by giving you the YouTube link of how to pronounce it, and it's always the American pronunciation, so it always just causes more arguments. This happens to me a lot. I get pretty weird about
I had a
pronunciation
guy
stuff.
come up to me and was like, "How do you say Nepal?" He's like, "I don't know," and he was an American. And
Nepal?
Nepal. He was saying complete, and he was like
Nepal.
telling me I was wrong.
It's nipple.
And I was like, "What's going on?"
I believe it's
beside the point.
Nepal.
Remember Microsoft Sam?
Yeah,
How good was he?
I remember the paperclip.
paperclip.
No,
I think it
different.
was annoying.
I don't think the paperclip talked.
Nah,
No,
they just annoyed you, right?
But
Keep
apparently, he's
Yeah.
pretty young though. So apparently, if you're young, you hear Yanni,
Yanni.
which I think is actually
Yanni.
bullcrap.
Is it meant to be Yanni?
It's more like Yanni.
You're just guessing because you haven't heard it.
No, I have.
Oh, you
And
have
that-
heard it.
It's
You've
and
heard both.
everyone
Oh,
I've heard
goodness.
describe it sounds like Yanni, whereas everyone who hears Laurel, they hear like Laurel.
So Sarah heard. I showed it to her last night, and she's like, "I heard." She couldn't. She was like Yan something, Yan me. So I couldn't really understand it. And the same showed it to a colleague at work today, and they're like, they heard Laurel in the on the radio, and then they heard the Yanni, but they couldn't really make it out.
Yeah.
So maybe they're on that bracket. If it has to do with age,
This is the auditory version of that dress.
Yeah.
That blue and black versus a white and gold
white
dress.
and gold dress.
I think it's deeper than that though, because
Ooh,
It's-
get deep.
Because ears go deeper than eyes.
Get prostate.
sort of.
You sound like you know from experience.
He's not wearing that turtleneck because he's
I'm wise tonight.
but so I thought this was the biggest hoax and biggest like, what the hell are we all doing here?
Gee,
like
yep.
this is such a stupid thing. And then I went to because we were talking about it in the chat, and all you guys are like, I hear Laurel, and I heard Laurel, so I was like, this is
Cares,
stupid. This
yeah.
is a piss take. And then I go to work, and I go to Ev, friend of the show, wild card, sorry.
World card.
How you going,
We
Ev?
could change it to wild card. That's a cool name.
World card.
World
Mr. Worldwide.
World card.
Can we call them trap cards?
What else does
Oh.
he call himself?
Ev's a bit of a trap card. I've heard.
You triggered my trap card.
Is that Yu-Gi-Oh?
So, I got it. He got it.
I got the reference. Nerdsy.
Yeah. We do all have glasses, not all wearing them. But as I'm so intelligent now
balance to
because
the
I
force.
wear glasses, I went up to Ev and I said, Ev, I didn't plant what the words were in her head.
Yeah,
I just went
you
up
played.
and I put my hand over the visual so she couldn't see what it was.
That's crucial.
And I said, what do you hear? And it played like 3 times and she goes, Yanni. And I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
Have you done this before? She's like, no. Like, what is this? I'm like, you're hearing Yanni because I'm literally in the same ear breath
Ear breath.
hearing Laurel.
Your ears are breathing the
Yeah.
same air.
And then Nick, another friend of the show, never comes on the show though because I don't think he'd make the drive or pay the tolls, in the corner goes, yeah, it's Yanni. What are you talking about? Like, these are not people smart enough to pull this hoax on me. So this wasn't a setup. And I
Former
just
friend of the show, Ev.
Ev's actually way smarter than me. She does complicated things on the internet.
So you're basically saying Nick's not smart.
Nick's a dumber.
Till you get on the show.
Yeah. Then
We'll talk.
get some
But
glasses.
so you said this, you think it's something to do with age?
That's the rumor, but
Yeah.
it's
Are they younger
bullcrap.
than you? Or are you older than them? Do you know?
Ev's older, Nick's younger.
Okay.
So in that
In that
shallow
sense.
pool of testing people,
Mm,
that doesn't really work.
yeah.
And oi, get this.
Mm.
Get this. So like 3 hours later, Ev, because like once she gets something, she just obsesses about it.
Mm.
She's playing it during lunchtime, and I'm editing a video over in the corner, like where my computer is,
Your dungeon.
and I just hear this Yanni, Yanni,
You heard it.
and I'm like, what the hell is that? And she said, I'm like, are you playing like a Yanni version? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you playing like a different file or something?
Yeah.
And I looked over, it's the exact same video that I was
Yeah.
watching.
Yeah.
And when I looked over the next time, it was Laurel.
Mm.
Yeah. On the
Same
same
video.
devices? Or
Yeah. Same phone.
Same phone.
Yeah.
I didn't look at this thing. I didn't see. I seen like it scrolling through on Facebook or whatever, but I didn't stop and pay any attention
Yeah.
to it until you sent it
Time
to
is
me.
money, yeah.
And then I was on my lunch break, and I whacked it out. I was walking up to grab a meal, and I hit play. And the first 3 times it said it, because stupidly I looked at the words because it's got like the words on the screen as well.
Yeah.
I could hear both simultaneously. Like,
Weird.
Jeez,
But
you're
then-
Rain Man. or
You a
something.
savant?
I think I'm Rain Man. So I went and bought a
That's what the
turtleneck. And this is me now. I heard both,
Yeah, yeah.
but then after that I kept playing it, just Laurel.
Just Laurel.
But then when you played it before, the first one was Yanni, but then now it's just Laurel again.
Yeah, so I go, and I tried to recreate that scene, and I couldn't do it.
Mm.
And then literally the same thing happened like an hour later. She was just playing it again.
Mm.
And it was Yanni again till I started paying attention to it, and then it was Laurel.
Mm.
She did say to try and listen to it, like, incidentally, not...
So it's like
As your
I think
main
you're always
focus.
conscious of it, but I was at the 2 times where I heard it, I was so not in the planet of trying to like listen to something. I was working.
So is
I
it like a magic eye? You know, the 3D magic eyes? You meant to look through them, right?
So there's another video here where the guy's done the analysis.
Yeah.
One of them you're supposed to hear Yanni more or Laurel more. So I'm going to play it when it loads.
Laurel. Laurel.
Laurel to me.
So he's cutting out.
Wait
He's
for
cutting out the upper frequency.
Higher frequency.
Laurel.
I still hear the same.
That's still Laurel. to
It's
me.
all Laurel
Yeah.
to me.
So the lower is meant to be Laurel, and the upper is meant to. So he's cut out the lower. Did that sound
I've
like
still
Yanni
got
to you?
Laurel.
That's
I still-
Yanni.
I still like
That
Laurel.
was Yanni.
That
to
was
you?
Yanni.
I got
Okay.
Laurel.
I got Laurel for that as well.
I got Yanni for... Yeah, that's Yanni.
That still sounds like Laurel to me.
Yanni.
It's freaky, right?
Yeah.
And every science thing you hear explained, like, it gets disproved 5 minutes later. So I really don't think people actually know what they're talking about.
I
with this.
don't think they know yet.
But that guy did do, like, you watch him cut out the lower part of it.
So
And
it has to
that's
do
when
with the
Chris
frequency,
definitely
right?
hears Yanni. I just never hear Yanni.
Yeah, I've seen one where they do something similar to that, and it does do both.
I feel like I'm missing out because you guys have heard something that I haven't heard.
It's so hard to do because you can't try to do this, but I say
Yeah.
try to hear it without.
Laurel.
Yanni. I mean, Laurel.
I thought I was going to surprise Yanni.
Nah, it was Laurel.
No, you were trying to surprise him. See, I saw it. That's why.
No, so I think
Sort of
even
happening.
even thinking about it like a little bit, like you're not going to get it. I think you just need to be completely surprised by
Yeah.
it, and that every time that's happened, it's been Yanni to me. And then
Yeah.
as soon as my brain's like Yanni, it switches to Laurel. It's freaky, right?
That is very
You're
interesting though,
expecting
because
something, right?
yeah, like your brain does subconsciously choose what to listen to, right?
You're
And you
perceiving
can
it.
drown out. You can sort of cut out different things
Mm.
if you're focusing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you cut out the lower stuff and
Yeah.
the higher stuff just gets through.
Because in theory, like if you, I'm not a doctor,
You look like one.
so if you listen to heaps of loud music, like don't
He looks like he's doing slam poetry.
don't heaps of like, don't you lose some hearing if over time, like if you
Hearing loss.
Yeah, you're meant to
go
lose the
loud things, then you
upper
lose the upper
the higher
register.
frequency, right?
registers. But then I did a test, so you can go on YouTube and do a test. I don't know if it would work for us here. I can try it, but they basically just like play tones and they go up in frequency, and you
And
go
you
you
say, "I
see
can't
how
hear
much
it
you
here."
can get up to.
Yeah.
So I go up to like, then they give you an age, and I think I'm like 24 years old, hearing wise.
You're young.
But I can't hear. I cannot hear Yanni. I've never heard
Heard
Yanni.
You open
That's
your mind.
that's why I think that one's bullcrap because so many people hear both at different times.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the age doesn't seem to correlate to
Yeah.
it at all.
Maybe it has to do with auditory degradation.
Yeah.
Like if you,
Just because you might have good ears. You know
I don't
what
think I
mean?
do though. Like, I don't think.
I think it's more like an interpretation thing of your brain.
Of what you're ready.
That's what I think, because
perceiving.
sometimes you're hearing one thing and sometimes it's a different, which suggests that it's not about the hardware.
But that video there where he's cutting it, it seems to be some idea of the frequency, right?
Yeah,
It's what frequency.
But I hear Laurel both times anyway.
Yeah, same.
It seems
then-
like he's cut out the whole Laurel, and
Yeah.
it's like.
But
Laurel.
maybe that's the way, I don't know, the way that we perceive is something
Mm.
to linked with the frequencies. If we're prepared for something, we're expecting something.
Yeah.
We're more attuned to some frequency range. I don't know.
Does this actually blow your mind
is all
more than the dress did?
hypothesis,
Because the
right?
dress was messing me up.
This proper made. If there was any time that made me think, man, we might be in the Matrix, it was today.
Yeah, I think this one's a bit more
Bring
mind
up the
blowing.
dress.
Really?
I think
When
yeah.
when she was saying Yanni and I was
I
hearing,
think it's just a
Laurel,
bit more
I was like,
interesting. I don't know.
what? Anyway,
Yeah.
how long have we gone on about?
But like, and I've
13 minutes.
I've read things saying that like they think it's harder to work out because it's a computer generated voice as opposed to someone naturally speaking, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
They're both cool because they teach you something about how your brain works.
yeah, it's interesting.
Wait, this one, I'm just not sure what it is that
Do
it's
we
teaching
know
me.
where it's from? Isn't it some like
I think-
18-year-old?
Yeah, it's some
They
kid or something.
some kid just put it together.
But do we know what it originally was meant to be? Because I
No.
saw a video where the
No,
guy
it's-
said pretty
it's-
definitively that it was meant to be Laurel.
No, yeah, it is because it's a definition, speaking and pronunciation of a word, and the word is Laurel.
Laurel? Okay.
Yeah,
So it's
because
just
Yanni's
like-
not a word.
Yeah.
so
That's
I
where
guess
it's
you
coming
can't
from. He's
say
doing
that.
like a pronunciation thing. Right?
Yeah, that's the original file,
Mm.
and it came. A kid in school
Mm.
was looking up the pronunciation of Laurel, like rest on your laurels,
Mm.
and he's like, Yanni.
I hear
Like, why
Yanni.
would I say Laurel Yanni?
It was a confused month for him.
And I think that it was the
so funny.
it was the spark to the flame of this entire discussion that's been going for
Yeah.
a couple of days now.
Well, it's broken the internet. hasn't
Guys, it's pronounced Yanni. You idiot.
it? He's a martyr. Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, far out.
Mm.
Are we in the Matrix? Is this a glitch in the Matrix?
Probably.
Think about
Possibly.
Our brains are pretty fascinating.
it. Yeah.
Didn't it turn out that the dress one was to do with the fact that you interpret what you're looking at based on whether you think it's meant to be bright or meant to be dark? Like you're assuming something about whether it's daylight or not.
Mm.
Oh, no, I didn't really
That
look into
affects,
that
like,
one.
It affects
So again, it's about
how you
perception.
perceive things.
I can't remember the dress.
What your
Yeah.
expectations are.
Sammy Sosa says apparently the Yodel kid started it. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know where she's getting his facts from, but
Yeah, you can get that in professional baseball.
I haven't seen this
chat.
Yodel kid thing.
the
Me neither.
No, I haven't seen that. That didn't drive
none of it.
Nah.
Even you.
I have heard of it. I don't know what it is.
Have you
I
gone
heard
off the
of it
grid
as well.
since you got a turtleneck? What's going on?
You kind of have to, don't you? You're just in bars doing
I
slam
had to
poetry.
sign a paper.
It's got a bit of a Ron
bars.
Burgundy vibe. Yeah.
At the end of every conversation, at the end he goes, "Oh, and one more thing, we've got a new iPod." Oh, okay. I didn't put any visuals up for that, but it was for audio, so get stuffed. Now,
Laurel.
you got to see Nick Koo's lovely artwork of us. It's got a few hidden Easter eggs in it. Apparently, he's going to make more. Can someone sweat him into doing that?
I love it.
Was it so foggy before, or is that new?
I can't see.
I believe that's
gotta look at the Easter
sci-fi,
eggs.
sci-fi mist.
You always gotta have good.
Or do we
mist.
smell bad?
Thanks, bro. Oh, yeah.